Well, get their cell phone and you can get them to come to school, but they don't want to talk about anything else. Was that overturned?
Yeah, they're coming to you.
Was the suspension overturned? Or just the expulsion?
The expulsion's overturned, and then they said they're suspending them for the summer. They can't do anything over the summer. I thought they would have talked to you first.
They have.
Okay, if you guys want to wrap up conversations real quick. Some really, really interesting conversations going.
So your performance expectations, presenting the content from the case studies. We talked about the deeper understanding is the ability to teach others. It's something for you to know, but can you teach someone else? And then questioning, is it recall or application? And then the academic piece, and one of the things we discussed was the previous time we met, or maybe the time we were at, when we did the math exercise.
With supportive feedback is not new. You know that's a place where we're going. So we've got to make sure that those things are happening.
I was just going to ask one question. Why do you think it is that teachers really have a difficult time? Do you mean the students are getting any deep knowledge on it? Right. You're covering it. That's about it. And so you touch on little pieces. And if students have a real interest in one area, or oftentimes are there times for them to really go deep? Do we even allow that, or think about how do we do that if students are really engaged in one piece of it, and we're feeling like, well, we've got to go on. I don't give a break. We can assign it.
All right, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. It's real simple. I want you to highlight the pieces of the Danielson rubric that are analogous to Louisiana Compass assessment. They are, I believe they are 1C, setting instructional objectives. Tell me if I'm wrong. 1C. I think Charlotte Danielson would like to have had us do that. I personally, from my own perspective, thought that you could draw all the conclusions you needed to within the realms of those 5. You could bring in the other pieces if you did this. So I want you to make sure you know what those are. When you come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about these tenets for your personal learning on this. Everybody understand? Let's take 15. We'll be back at 10:55. Rubric, you know how you were going to get there to begin with, right? Begin with that end in mind, so they don't just spin out of control. You have no idea what the next thing's going to be. I don't know if some of you guys were around for
Right.
Yeah, at Greenhouse we have progress monitoring where the administration has determined, looking at the right evidence, what we believe the primary standards that you want to assess along the way. And so those targeted standards are the ones that every child, if you complete 2 quizzes on, quick assessments, and if you don't, the proficiency is 80%. If you don't score,
this group of students haven't mastered that, then that's that next week or that week's RTI group. So the RTI group is ever changing depending on what the needs are. And we have somebody in that place and they can pull from an elective and whether it's 2 days, whatever the case is to master the go. So they're not missing that class. That's how we work our RTI.
And we do the RTI too, but one of the things I know I met specifically with ZERM people, and is that kind of where it's coming from? Because it sounds like exactly what I was told through Eureka and ZERM.
Eureka, yeah.
And the things that they were saying is, well, if you're going to teach this concept, basically 40 different days of instruction during the year, why would you think they need to master it when they first saw it? Right. So that I do remember having those exact same conversations, and so telling my teacher.
When we get to that, there's a lot of interest coming up. So, all right, we're going to take lunch. We'll come back at 12:40. We'll take an hour. Will that be enough? We'll have to do it. Ish, 12:40-ish. 12. All right, we'll make it 12:45. I'll give you time. 12:45. Great work this morning, troops. Y'all did a good job.
Let's be ready.